Go live on YouTube? I'm sorry, YouTube chat. I literally can't read you. I don't know why. I don't know why they doing this to me. Aye. I just realized that the video that I thought was going up on the second channel, I accidentally scheduled it for tomorrow instead, so excellent work yet again from a professional streamer such as myself. Speaking of YouTube, I think maybe it does that when I'm logged out, when I'm logged into the second channel on a different tab. Hang on, let me refresh and see if I get the chat now. Yay! There we go. Now I can see it. Now I can see it. Okay, pop that guy out. And then we'll get going here soon. Smacked my face the other day and had to get 3 stitches. My condolences. How the fuck did you, like, hit yourself that hard, though? They always saying shit like, you don't love us. The Twitch chat claims similar such things, so I know it's full of shit. Anyway, welcome in, YouTube bros. Also, welcome in Koi by FPV. Thank you for the raid. Welcome Raiders to the stream. Do you guys know this game? It's called Perfection. Now, when I was a kid, the game was this big. And I ordered this from Amazon, and this is what showed up. Dude, it has the logos on it. Is this like... I think I might have got like a knockoff by mistake, though. Hang on, we'll go over this in a second. First things first. Thank you, Mitch DH99, for the fresh sub. Thank you, Q Queen Danny, for the 4 months. Hikiki no Moomin, thank you for the 4 months. Commander of the Wind, thank you for the 100 bits. Watchmakering, thank you for the 35 months. Holy shit. You've been around since the beginning. And I know, because I remember when you were around at the real beginning. Redstone Tech, thank you for the 11 months. And Bimbo for Cocoa Buffs, thank you for the 15 months. Hang on a second. Skewbika, I want to be coffee cup holder. Okay, thank you for the 500 bits. Here, I'll put you in coffee cup holder. See, look, in the YouTube chat, they're getting so... I said this last night, but people weren't around to hear it, so I'll say it again. If I treated the YouTube chat equally, they would remove the one thing that they all come together to talk about. Because one of the things that lacks in YouTube stream communities is, it's the community aspect. They just come in, they watch the streamer, and they don't really talk among themselves or have, like, unifying things. But, like... people who were there at the Void stream and complaining that I don't treat them equally are like the two things that they come together for. Now they're supposed to be small enough they can't launch that far? Is that why they made it? Look how fucking small this game is. So, I'll do my little intro here. Welcome in, guys. Today, what we're gonna be doing is making the game Perfection, this classic childhood jump scare horror game, into a version that's significantly more dangerous and significantly scarier, hopefully. You know, the problem is that it's just not jump scary enough. Now, I bought this one off Amazon, and I mean, like, it says Hasbro Gaming. It's not Perfection Junior or anything. But, like, did they, like, this used to have, like, 25 spaces on it, right? And was bigger and a little more strong? Hang on. Why is it so small now? Did they, like, cheapify it to make it less expensive? I think you got the travel size. Well, why doesn't it say travel size? Or why don't they call it... Before, when I was a kid, you could buy like Monopoly, or you could buy Monopoly Junior, which was the smaller, easier version of the game for younger kids. Why didn't they call this Perfection Junior? Also, how do you travel with a game like this? It pops the pieces everywhere. You're in your car seat or whatever. That shit ain't gonna work. Alright, hang on, I cranked it up a little too high. Okay. Alright, ready? Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but for anyone who's unaware with how the game works, I gotta show you what the normal game is. So you press that timer, and then you gotta try to fit as many pieces. You have to try to fit all the pieces in the slots before it pops, and it shoves all the pieces out. You see how the game works, though, right? Hang on, surely I can actually do this. I'm like a full-blown adult. Oh, wait, I forgot to push it down. What? Did this break? Are you fucking serious? You press this and it starts the little timer on the top, and then you try to get all the... Dude, the dinosaur didn't want to fit easy. And then the idea is that when you get it... Ah, shit. When you get it, you go up and press the thing and it stops the timer. I thought this was gonna be a little easier than it was. There's like additional rules, and that, like, the one I had as a kid had like a spinner or something. No one ever used that. Everyone just played it like this, where they just tried to fit all the pieces in before the timer ran out. There we go. Got it all in there before it exploded. So anyway, this is a classic kids game. When I was a kid, I was afraid of it because it literally jump scares you when it goes off. But I was like, you know, as an adult, it really loses a lot of the fear factor that makes it an interesting game. So I thought, okay, what if today we made a better version of this game that was worth being scared of even as an adult? And so we're gonna start with this guy. We're gonna take out the spring and put in one that's 5 times stronger so that it can pop. I'm just kidding. We're not doing any of that. That's lame. This is too weak to sustain what we're about to do. I have spent way too long modeling up and creating the ultimate perfection board. And it's this guy right here. This stream is not sponsored by Bamboo Printers, but they sent me that second printer, and let me tell ya, maybe one of the greatest things ever for this specific project. So you see, I've made little individual pieces. So basically, I modeled up this board, and internal to the board, if you look under here, you can see that there are little holes underneath each of the pieces. And those little holes go to little internal tubes that all interconnect. And then they come out in this top port right here, which is just sized to fit a standard NPT 1/4 inch plug. It's not threaded, but it's made so that the walls are thick enough that you can thread this in and it bites into the plastic and it'll actually, like, hold on. So basically, you could connect a compressed air cylinder to this. That's the idea. Or, if not, like, an air compressor with, like, 100 PSI, maybe we take a page out of our book from when we made the auto chugger, and we use a CO2 cylinder at like 1,000 PSI. So, a few different options we've got here for potential. Alright, I can't tighten that in or it'll just blast the air out. We got a few different potentials here. The way that I modeled this also was, I modeled all the pieces and then I put them into the mesh like this, and then I did a subtraction Boolean on them to make the hole so that it's perfectly fitted. And then, because the print parameters are slightly different, I scaled all the pieces down to 0.98 their original size. So they're like just slightly smaller. I like the colors. Yeah, me too. I had the orange on the one printer and the purple on the other printer. So I was like, that's a pretty... I was trying to figure out which ones would make the best color combo. I also needed one of the filaments to make this to be one of the ones that I had the most of, because this shit took like half a spool. This is like a pound of plastic. Aye. 2000 PSI should be good. I have some promise for this, because I was like, okay, but what if like the distribution isn't right? What if it doesn't blow out like one single piece? If all the other holes are open, but if I blow into this, it blows the piece out. And me blowing in is way less force than what we can conceivably get out of this damn thing. So, I'm thinking we're looking pretty good here. I think that we got some pretty promising developments. And now we'll need to do a couple things. One is that the pieces need to fit like this. Basically, to where they're not loose, but they will fall out if you tip it upside down. Pieces that stick too much, like this fits pretty well. But it's a little too stiff, so we're gonna need to grind some of these down. And see, like, this guy, like, you drop it and it falls all the way in. This guy, you put him in and then you let go and it falls all the way in. Basically, if it doesn't do that, it's gonna probably need sanded down. Okay, this guy and this guy need sanded. This guy and this guy, I've already identified are, like, snug. Like, you have to pull it out. So, they definitely need sanded down. I hope this guy doesn't need sanded down. Oh, well, he does. Unfortunate, because he has a funky shape and will be hard to do that, too. Alright, he's good. He's good. He's gonna need a little bit of treatment. Nothing too hard, either. But I figured this was the step that I would do on stream. And we can also 3D print some other stuff, because I am debating how we actually set this up on a timer. Why is the table charred? Welcome to the stream, brother. It's seen much abuse. Yo, Zalagos, thank you for the Prime sub for 3 months. YouTube chat, you smell. All right, see what I see. We're getting similar gauge of insults between the two now. Start with 60 PSI. So just the original, but more. I mean, the game is gonna be the same, but yeah, basically, I want it to be the original, but more powerful. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hot fit this angled connector here. This will allow me to put this on. Okay, so let me run through what I'm thinking for it. We can have it to where it's hooked up directly to the air compressor, and that one's gonna be easy to control because we have solenoids that can support. I mean, I have a lot of solenoids like this that'll support up to 150 or so PSI, which is what the air compressor can provide. So that'll be real slick because we can make a digital timer. It counts down and then ding and opens the compressor and blasts all the pieces out. And honestly, given how effective this is with just me blowing into it, I do think that will work pretty well. But, sorry, I can't have this fucking profile pic on the screen while I'm doing this shit that's gonna get in the YouTube video. Schlonky Dong, thank you for the 4 months. I appreciate you. Anyway, we're going to, that's one option, but the ultimate extreme option that I would like to try out is fit this guy in here, or fit whatever grommet in here, and then, so the way this works is you put a CO2 cylinder in here, and then you get it started threaded, and when you thread it, and eventually you'll get to the point where it presses, and if you go and twist it the rest of the way, it punctures the seal on the top and releases this. Because I don't have a solenoid that can hold back, like, 1,000 plus PSI, right? And those are actually quite hard to come by, so good luck finding one. I have this needle valve that can hold up to 2,000 PSI, but that's slow. So even if I attached a motor to turn it open, that's not like the quick release that I'm after. So what I was thinking, and I bought the stuff to do this, is I got this little worm gear. And this is a more analog solution. So, you know, I'm running us through here. We have a couple different ways we can make this thing work, right? We can either do the electric way with the air compressor, or we get this worm gear, and this turns 10 rotations a minute. And that means it'll pop this in about 30 to 40 seconds if we just start the threading, connect this to the back so that this turns it in, and then that's your timer, basically. And then you just have a switch that turns the motor on and off. And honestly, I'm a little intrigued by that idea, and also this will be a lot more powerful. But I like the ability to explore options. Also, we'll have to come up with some way of securing this to this, but we can either 3D print something that won't take that long because it'll be small, or we can ad hoc together a stupid little jig, which we've done many, many times. So, that's what our project is today. We're gonna be making scary perfection. And before we get into all that, also, I did just buy this to show it off. When I originally bought this, my original plan was making this, like, sproing way out of the board with, like, a comically long spring. But then I started thinking, it was, like, Sunday night. I started thinking, and I was like, you know what actually would be really cool is if I just made my own board and then had a self-contained pneumatic thing so it could blow the pieces out. And sure enough, that's what I decided to end up going with, because I think it's awesome. We could also hook one of these guys, one of these quick release deals up, if we wanted to have something on here that I could swap between the different methods on. Looney Tunes ass mindset. Yeah, kinda. Why do I have a feeling we're missing a purple piece? This one really needs sanded. Wait, you're right. We are missing a purple piece. Hang on, wait. You think I should go ahead and start printing more pieces? Just in case we lose some when they blow out of the end. Wait, where did... Oh, it's over here. You're right. We actually were missing that. I was putting it together to prove you wrong. The scary thing will be filling up with brown gas. The scary thing will be filling your ass up with brown gas. That one's a little iffy. Alright. First things first, though, we need to sand down the edges to some of these. Make them 0.97 this time. No, you want them as tight as you can get them. What infill are the pieces printed at? 25, I believe. I didn't print them that thick, because I had a lot of them to print. But I wanted them to have a little bit of mass, you know? So I didn't print them at, like, 10%. This board is printed at 10% infill, which I'm hoping doesn't fuck me over. Particularly when... I'm hoping it doesn't fuck me over when I hit it with 1,000 PSI. I hope it doesn't fucking blow the board apart, because it took around 13 hours to print this thing. So there is no reprints or redos. It would only be, we'd have to, like, glue it back together if it's split. Will air leak out the sides? I mean, let me, like... try to show you why I'm not worried about that. Alright, thread this little guy in. Can I, like, get a silicone tube on here or something? So air's gonna leak out of every hole where there's not a piece. Because, like, there's just a hole there. But the idea is that when I made this, here's how I was thinking, and maybe I'll be wrong on this. But how I was thinking is, it's not gonna matter that some air leaks out because the flow is limited through each individual hole, but the avenues that the air blasts through the bottom of the board at are really wide. So we can fit a lot more air pressure underneath than can escape through all the little holes. That's the idea, right? No way PLA is holding up to 1,000 PSI. It doesn't have to contain 1,000 PSI. It has release valves everywhere. It just has to, like, be able to to hold up long enough to expel the pieces. Path of least resistance should really be saving our ass here. So hang on, if I put this on here and then I blow, which my breath is not that high pressure, if I blow through this end. Okay, we might need a little more pressure than I thought. The more are in here, the more it will pressurize out the entire thing. It is a release valve. We'll see how much PSI we need. We'll do experiments once we've got these pieces sanded a bit. Hang on. Let me try again. You can tell which ones need to be sanded down by the ones that don't move when you blow through it. All the rest of these should be fine. I see a problem. It's literally me blowing through it, bro. Come on. It's not a problem. Also, that was not tight on that nipple. It's a good rattle. We'll see once we connect real air pressure to it, okay? Oh, and if 1,000 PSI isn't enough, guess what, motherfucker? We got even crazier options because I have the oxygen and CS2 tank, or CO2 tank over there that we can hook up, and those are like 2,000 plus PSI. So we can really make them rip if we need it. What I'm afraid is I don't want to hit it with too much pressure or it's going to blow apart because it won't be able to pressure regulate enough. Are you going to lube up the pieces? No, I'm just going to sand the sides down a bit. The point that pinches on these, here, I'll show it in a second. Let me get my sandpaper out real fast. The pinch point on these are generally with the points. So, like, the, oh, Toko, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. So, like, when the nozzle, think of how the nozzle goes in the 3D printer, right? When you need to make a point in, like, the cutout, the nozzle can go and then come back and make a perfect cut angle. But when you print out the piece that goes in, the end of this, the edge of this triangle can only be as sharp as the nozzle is thick. You can't make it more sharp than that because it's judged by the width of the plastic that's being laid down, right? Anyway, that's where you end up with some inconsistencies on certain pieces when you have a sharp point like this and it rounds out a little more. And this has a couple points here, and this has a few points here. This one isn't even that bad. Oi, oi. Grimy and Gamey, thank you for the 2 months. Make the moon piece hit the roof. I'll try my best. Spam player, thank you for the 200 bits. What are the chances you blow out the air channels? Here, I'll answer that in a second. Oh, and All In It's Good, thank you for the 2 months. Next step is to see it out of tungsten. That's a little overkill, I think. So, 3D prints tend to fail along layer lines. This is, This is a pretty, like, important distinction here. It's a pretty important design consideration when you're making stuff that's 3D printed. 3D prints really don't want to break, like, this is layered so that the bottom is on the floor of the 3D printer, and then it builds itself up. So the weak line is this way. It's this plane. So if it split anywhere, it would split horizontally, like, down the side, and then open up the layers. 3D prints really don't want to fail in a way that blows sideways open. You know? It's really rare that you get a failure that's not along a layer line. You have to have a crazy amount more force to do it. Chances of missing piece? I'd put that as pretty high. How would you CNC that? If you were gonna CNC this out of metal, you would CNC it in 2 parts. So you would mill the top part here, but you would have all sorts of issues with the shapes that I chose because you end up with these fucking sharp angles that you wouldn't be able to actually mill. But let's assume you redesign the shapes to be something more millable, right? You would mill this out, mill out these would have rounded corners because you're using a bit in there. Mill these down until there's only like a millimeter on the bottom, and then 1 single drill pock through the bottom for the hole, and then you would have a second piece that you mill out your air routes in, and that is where you would have a little groove to mount your air inlet. And then you would have bolt holes around the edge, and you would bolt them down so that you could fit the 2 halves together. Probably have to put a big gasket in between them or something as well, if I had to guess. That's just my... I'm not a fabricator, but that's my guess. That's my guess if I was going to fabricate this. High pressure water jet? Okay, if you did it in 3 pieces, you could use a water jet. If you did it in 4 pieces, you could use a water jet. Because you could use thin layer on top to get this little, like, see how they're split into squares? Water jet or laser cut those out of thin steel. Then thick steel, water jet out your main holes for pieces. Also, if you're wondering... Alright, so another thing that was considered with the design. Notice how the original perfection pieces are really thin. And that's because it has to pop them out, and them being longer makes it take a lot more vertical force to pop them out. See how far out they jump? But when you're doing it pneumatically, and you're blowing air through the bottom, you get like a barrel length additive for having a longer slot for the piece to fit in. So if they were short, it would start accelerating, then exit the slot, and then it can't really accelerate much more. The arrow kind of blow it out of the way, but it's kind of lost its acceleration. With this, it gets to build up for a full, like, 1.5 inches of travel before it's free from its cage. So, that was an intentional design. It being thick as hell is an intentional design. Are we harming children? No children will be handed this. We're harming adults, namely myself. Oi, oi. You can machine it all in one piece with a laser or jet, then cut the bottom and bolt it back on so you wouldn't need a second pass for just the pieces. There is no... Hell, maybe with a laser you'd be able to get a clean enough cut. It'd be a feat of machining to make this. Something that a lot of people need to realize, and this is a common, forgotten sentiment in the hobby world. I'll start sanding my pieces while I'm talking about this also. There's a common forgotten sentiment in the hobby world. CNC and 3D printing are very, very different manufacturing methods. And a lot of people who are like 3D printing bros who like, yeah, yes, my solution to every fabrication problem is to just 3D print all the pieces. They'll buy a laser cutter or a CNC, and they'll not realize how much they have to design their product around it being machinable. Because with 3D prints, you can like design around not having overhang, or like you know, trying to minimize your level of supports and whatever. But like with a CNC, you are way more constrained on what you can do. And like, yeah, you can make it out of like any substance, any material. That is really cool. But it's subtractive manufacturing requires a lot more engineering on the manufacturing end. It's not a matter of having like an idea of what you want to make. It's a matter of what you want to make and can you actually pull this off on a machine. And access limitations. You do it, yeah, you have to design around your tool passes. You have to design around the limits of your machine. You have to design around like the forces you can put on it. If you want a good like, and this was for me, this helped me understand a lot of subtractive manufacturing, but maybe it's not good for everyone. But look at how they make rockets. It's never just one piece where the that goes into like the big rocket cone, because the internal of a rocket engine, if you don't know, a rocket engine has liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen as its fuel, like the most pure energy fuel imaginable. It's an oxidizer and one of the most powerful fuels that exists, right? And the way they tend to machine these is so that there's a nozzle on the inside that looks like a shower head type of thing with a series of holes, and you pipe in your liquid oxygen, your liquid hydrogen to the top, and in the nozzle they all come out alternating at angles. Hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, oxygen, with an igniter at the point where they all come together. Because you don't want it to build up in the nozzle or it'll fucking explode like a bomb. You have to have it all come up and then hit and ignite and burn all out the end cone, right? I'm really going off right now. But it's coming around. Basically, try to think about how you would machine a thing that does that has all those alternating nozzles from two single input ports, and how you route that all around while taking like stress and material into consideration. That's a really good exercise, because it's not something that a normal person can't figure out. But it's something that really gets you thinking how you're going to actually pull it off, you know? Finding it hard to backseat this. Is that what was wrong with the Challenger? No, the Challenger exploded because the O-ring seals around... I think it was maybe on the part that input to the rocket engine. It was somewhere along there. They weren't rated for the low temperatures on that morning that they were doing the launch, and the launch had already been delayed several times, and it was basically they have to get approval for the launch from all the contractors that built it, right? But there's this, and this is something you're gonna find a lot if you work with the gov, or if you just work with, if you work in a big business, you're gonna find this out as a commonly recurring annoying little thing. Is they will ask you for specs, and if you say, no, this is not in spec to do it, they'll get mad like it's your fault, even if you built it to their spec. So basically, NASA was getting pissed because of how many times the rocket launch had to be delayed due to the weather. And the contractors eventually were getting a little greedy, and they decided they didn't want to tell NASA that they couldn't launch just because a couple of their parts weren't rated for being like 10 degrees Fahrenheit under whatever they were going to run them at, whatever they were rated to run at. So they changed the rating internally. The company that was subcontracted did. And said, no, you actually can run it this morning. Then NASA was like, okay, excellent, great doing business with you. And then they were like, oh, we have pulled off an excellent move. You know, you know, they're well built to spec. It won't cause any problem. Anyway, the O-ring failed due explicitly to the fact that they were out of spec for their temperature and caused liquid hydrogen to leak, I believe it was, which then caused a massive explosion. Sounds very illegal. There was a guy, this was a case of whistleblowing, because originally it was deemed to be an engineering mistake. Oh, they said it was rated for this, but it wasn't. And then someone internal to the company ratted them out and said, nope, we knew it wasn't rated for this, and they changed it because they didn't want to disappoint their highest paying contractor. He was a real Giga Chad for that. A lot of whistleblowers get killed. Whistleblowing is actually, like, incredibly dangerous when you're working with this level of company. Like, companies where it's, like, billions of dollars, no one tells them no type of thing. I think it's something like the majority of the Boeing whistleblowers have died due to mysterious circumstances. There are specific whistleblowing protections, but you have to qualify for them. Okay, that's a lot easier now. There we go. Shit's no joke. Yeah. They don't mess around. Yo, Cute Charm, thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate ya. And 9 Fear, thank you for the fresh Prime sub. Burp 240, thank you for the $5 on YouTube.com. I appreciate ya. You hear about the plane crash in Kentucky? I haven't heard of that one. Wild topic to join a chat to. I was talking about rocket engines, and then they asked about the Challenger. Jacktivist, thank you for the 5 months. Also, Marceline Jankowski, thank you for the $5. The message farts. I appreciate you. Didn't know much about the Challenger? Yeah, it was like pure negligence. It's part of why it's such like a landmark thing. It's a real cautionary tale to company hubris and trying to fucking skirt around stuff. I hope I'm remembering the details right. I remember I had to take an ethics class for engineering, and they made us study the Challenger because it was one of these big ethics issues, right? Yes, Big Bird was almost a victim of the Challenger disaster. They wanted to send Big Bird from Sesame Street into space. Instead, they ended up sending a Russian teacher, I believe it was, who ended up dying in the disaster. It's the only time a civilian has died in a spacecraft disaster. Okay, this is going in easier, but it's gonna need a little more juice. Kubax, thank you for the fresh sub. Hollywall, thank you for the $20. Thank you. Screw it, Uos is wonderful. Here's some money. As a designer and science nerd, your content makes my day. Thank you, man. I appreciate ya. That's very nice of ya. She whistle my blower till I mysterious sewer slide. 2 types of chatters we get here, bro. Speedy Scorpion, thank you for the $5. Would you incinerate the next guy's note? Thanks. You know what? It's rare that someone doesn't ask for their own one to be incinerated. Yeah, sure. I'll incinerate the next one that comes out the chute. Also, I think the chatter is right. Big Bird did know about the Challenger disaster was going to happen. That was why he didn't get on. Do you have a Discord? I do, but you have to find it if you want to join it. It's part of the challenge. Also, this do you have a Discord? Per promise. Thank you for the $5, Ollywall. I appreciate it. Ututsu, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate you. Blood for the Blood God. Hell yeah, brother. Wasn't the Flat Earth guy a stuntman on a rocket unrelated to his Flat Earth quest when he died? First of all, show the guy a little respect. He wasn't actually a Flat Earth guy. He was a stuntman who wanted to build a steam-powered rocket. This is a completely different story. He was a stuntman who wanted to build a steam-powered rocket and had attempted to raise funds multiple times, but had never been able to do it. And then, then he realized he could get money if he said, hey, Flat Earthers, I'm a Flat Earther, and I'm gonna go up in my non-NASA rocket and prove the Earth is flat. Which is kind of a crazy maneuver he's pulling there. I'd rather deal with explosives than steam. Steam is scary. Steam is scary. Gabe Newell is a legend of our time. Also, I don't think the steam-powered part of the rocket is what killed him. That's an insane premise. What if you miss the edge? Well, that's the the problem with doing something for a flat earther is what if you build this crazy thing to prove the earth is flat and then it fucking isn't? What do you do then, man? You gotta be really sure. Akuma, don't be trying to bait someone who's complaining about ads into getting fucking deleted, you fuck. You take the L? It'll be like that episode of Smiling Friends where they see the glass dome and they're like, fuck, dude, we can't tell anyone about this. We have to take this to the grave. Except it's flat earthers and they go up and see the fucking curvature. Exceptionary Alex, thank you for the 3 months. You're the most entertaining streamer I've watched. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the shenanigans. And Jungle321 Jungle, thank you for the 6 months. How explosive are we making these? I'm expecting some pieces to fucking smack the ceiling. I'm expecting a decent explosiveness here. The sanding part is a little tedious, but it shouldn't take too awful long. Wasn't there a flat earther who came up with his own genuinely scientific test to determine if it was flat? And the test proved it was round? Yes. Was he the one he was on about the lake? There was like some lake where it was like, it's so big and long that if the earth is flat, you shouldn't be able to witness a curvature over it, but then he did, and he was like, ah, shit. Didn't know this was a Globey stream. These fucking Globies, Is that the camera shaking or the table? It's the table. I don't know where it's catching exactly. I'm gonna try to sand down as much as I can. This is unfortunately a more convoluted part. Yeah, people have known the Earth was round for a long time. They fucking knew that shit in Greece. Speaking of Greece, oiling this up probably would help it, actually. At some point, I should probably buy some lithium grease just for when I do streams where I build stuff like this. At the very least, it's not getting stuck anymore. It doesn't fall in, but it's like, it's pretty easy to like put in. Compared to before where it had to be like that, basically. You guys think the Earth is real? Psh, you believe in the moon? They knew the Earth was round before America existed? They knew the Earth was round before, like, Jesus existed, man. It's one of the oldest, like... The idea that the Earth was the center of everything was, like, an alternate belief. But there have been people that have been like, dude, I think the Earth is round since, like, forever. Because a lot of math makes sense with it. It just stopped being debated in, like, the more recent times when we were able to go, oh, wait, we can actually go into space. And, oh, wait, we can actually fly around the Earth. You know? Once you get to the point where you can actively use the fact the Earth is round to, like, travel, suddenly it's like, oh, wait, well, I guess the debate is kind of moot point now, right? All right, nice. That fits smoothly now. You believe in the Big Bang Theory or Pangea? Computer, pull up that Aiden Ross discusses Pangea with XQC video. It's Pangea. That was it. Everyone's talking about them like they're dumb, but that's like what the average Joe thinks stuff. That's like how the average Joe thinks stuff is, man. They are the average Earth population. They're like plants and shit. People have limited brain space. You know, I think that's maybe the most reasonable thing said about something like that I've heard. Yo, Konzo Como, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate you. Because a lot of people are like, wow, what a bunch of idiots. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily mean you're an idiot. Some people just like... Some people are just like, I don't care enough about this to fucking think about it. You know? It's kind of important to take that into consideration for a lot of people. Aye, aye. We only got 2 more left. This one is fucked up, though. I think most of it can be... Most of the flat sides will be easy enough to sand, but... Oi, oi. Seabash, thank you for the 2 months! Panzinga. Panzinga is what the guy in the Big Bang Theory says. That's what he says when someone says something epic to him, and he goes, Panzinga. Anyway, like and subscribe for more epic jokes. Ah, yeah, baby, that's the hard edge that I needed to get up in the crevasse here. What game is this originally? It's a game called Perfection, where the pieces pop up after a timer goes off. You try to put all the pieces in the holes, and if you don't get them in time, then they go and pop out. The actual game looks like this. I've made the super-sized, giant, high-powered version that we're going to be running here soon. That one actually is fine. It literally went in without needing to be pushed. This one needs some sanding. First found you on YouTube, and I'm glad to have made my way to Twitch. So much fun seeing the experience. So thank you, man. Thank you, Aces Wild, and thank you for the 2 months. Glad you're able to stop by. I'm sucking my pears so I can get all the juice out. Brother, what the fuck you mean you're sucking your pears? Have you tried smoothing PLA with mech? No, I haven't. I did. It evaporated out now. I used to have chloroform that I could use for smoothing my PLA. I need to make more. I even edited and posted the video for the chloroform stream on the second channel recently. But that's what I ended up, that's what I ended up using my chloroform for, was smoothing 3D print parts because it melts PLA. Only the pieces were razor sharp. Dude, is it not enough they're gonna launch into my face? We do crocodile dentist with realistic bite force. You're like the second person to recommend crocodile dentist as a future modified stream idea. You know what? If it's that popular, I will do it. 'Cause that sounds fun. Do you know what I was thinking? I was like, if people like this one, my other idea for making a fucked up children's game that's more dangerous than the original is Operation, but it has like an arc welder hooked to it. So if you touch the side, it'll blow sparks everywhere and spot weld to the side. And before Simpsons did it, because some YouTube guy did that. You guys underestimate, or you overestimate how much YouTube I watch. Because so often, I'll get people in the comments of my videos, it'll be like, clearly he's doing this because he saw this video by this other guy. And like, I've legitimately never heard of said other guy in my life. I did a video where I made ice cream by infusing all these different flavors in it. And so I was like, oh, it's clear you're just riffing on the idea from the wood ice cream guy. And I was like, what the fuck is the wood ice cream guy? And then it turns out, there's a guy on YouTube who makes ice cream out of wood. Never seen him before. But apparently that's like his entire gimmick. Did Did you have to take drawing classes for your major? No. For engineering? Absolutely not. I can't draw shit. Oh, wait! Are you having to take, like technical drawing classes is probably what you're having to do, right? I didn't have to do that either, but the mechanical engineers did. That ice cream video made me want an ultrasonic cleaner. The speed and fusion capabilities of the ultrasonic cleaner are unironically really nice. Alright, hang on. I think I'm gonna heat this guy up and heat fit him in here. Mostly because I don't want it to crack and blow the thing apart. We don't need that much heat to soften PLA. See, just being a little hot, it makes it so the teeth melt their way through, but it's not so hot that it's gonna, like, melt and fucking destroy the thing. At least it shouldn't. And then once we have this fitting in here, this is gonna be what we use to fit all the other pneumatics to it. I'm gonna make it stick up like that. Just because a lot of these fittings are big, and having it flush to the ground, like, is just harder to deal with, you know? Like, it'll be easier, especially for the compressed air, to have the nozzle sticking up a little, so we'll have it like that. And we'll have to wait for this to cool down a little bit. But, then I'd like to test it out, and if compressed air from like the compressor works, that's the best. That's like the easiest case scenario. But I do want to also try it with the CO2 cylinder, because I think it's gonna be ridiculous. Also, when this thing pops, it blasts out frozen CO2 and literal fog comes out. Yo, Dark Egg Super, thank you for the fresh Prime sub. And Shamu Plays, thank you for the Prime sub. JT Wooski, thank you for the gift sub to Compressed Air. I appreciate ya. It's funny when I'm trying to find these NPT 1/4 inch fittings or like adapters to make my stuff fit to it, because just most of my compressed air stuff is built around that. People get indignantly mad about it. They're like, that's not a good air fitting. You should be using yada yada, you know, engineer these ones that are specifically engineered to be the best air fittings. I'm like, okay, motherfucker. This is like the people that are like, oh, Torx is better. I can't believe you'd ever use Phillips head. Sometimes Phillips head is the choice for the job, bro. The CO2 is packaging friendly, easier distribution instead of relying on home buyers having their own air compressor. You're right. Okay, hang on. Here's how you sell this product to Silicon Valley jackoffs. You say, we've invented a new type of perfection for the modern era. You literally hot glue a module on the side that has AI integration that just tells you, wow, I think you did good on your game today. And then you open up a website, dipshit.io, and you go on dipshit.io to order your monthly CO2 deliveries subscription service that shows up to your house so that you can play it every day. And then, oh, do you think this is a good idea? Absolutely not. No fucking, oh, you'd have to be an idiot to buy this, but you could sell the idea to some venture capital angel investor for $5 billion, and then you don't have to give a shit about it anymore. That's how you juicero your shit. Yes, it needs to be connected to the internet to work. The only mechanics in the entire game are ones that shut it off with no way of reversing it if it's not connected to the internet. Ender Cobra, thank you for the 26 months. That's a lot, man. Holy shit. The domain has expired and is available at auction. What the fuck is this? Domain is expired, available at auction shit. I've seen it on so many websites. What the fuck you mean auction? They gonna have like one day where it goes up for bid? When does the bid end? Because I don't think it like just expired and everyone's clamoring to try it out. I think it's like, I think it's something that like it's for stuff that like expired like years ago. Are they gonna have an auction just because you want to buy it? Hang on. I'm looking for the fitting I need to connect this to an air compressor. Starts at $12,000. Do you guys see friend.com? Was it friend.com? I think it was. It was that AI, like, you like wear an AI badge around your neck that glows, and then you can fucking talk to it, and it tells you like the most stupidly lukewarm corporate safe answers all day, and somehow this guy that invented it has convinced VCs to give him millions of dollars for this dumbass stupid idea. But they mentioned as like a bragging point almost that the major expense of the project so far was them buying the domain name friend.com, which I think they spent like $2 million on. And that was what they spent the majority of their VC funding for, man. That's crazy. Is he still cooking? Yeah, yeah, I'm on the 6th cake. $2 million for a domain. I don't want to know what Elon Musk paid for X.com. Single letter domain name .com. Single letter .com domain has to have cost like $100 million, like ludicrous amounts of money. But you know, it was a small price to pay to like lose $500 million off the brand strength of Twitter.com. That was way back. He bought it in the 90s? Okay, never mind. Never mind, he probably actually didn't spend that awful much on it. Wait, he bought it in the 90s? So he's just been holding on to that shit, just waiting until he can use it for something then, basically. Alright, hang on. This has cooled, but the threads are not tight enough for my liking. So I'm gonna wrap this in some Teflon and then re-seal it in there. He tried to turn PayPal into X and everyone was like, no, you idiot. He has wanted that to be, because it is like such a powerful domain, and he probably spent, at the time, a lot of money for it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he spent a shitload of money to get X.com even in the 90s. So he's probably just like, dude, I have a domain that you literally could not even buy nowadays. I gotta find the perfect company to turn into X.com. And then he bought Twitter and he was like, this is genius, finally. Finally, a company worthy of the X.com domain that I bought. And then everyone's like, this is the dumbest shit you could have possibly done. Alright. Alright, I now have the nozzle on here. I should put some, like, do I have some rubber feet? I have them somewhere. In 2008, Z.com sold for $7 million. It's a massively valuable asset, but he that he has to use. Well, that's the problem. Is he switched a site that already had a crazy strong brand, a brand that like most people would kill to get. You can't do that. Then it's not. It's like, who cares? You're wasting the entire concept. Alright, hang on a second. I gotta plug in the air compressor. Alright, let's load it up so we can do a test. It is actually hard to tell where the, like, octagon pieces go. That thing is empty as hell. It's charging itself all the way up. All right. Okay. Will this... I hope that this is, like, at least kind of powerful, because I don't know, man. It should be at 100 odd PS... Well, let me make sure the limiter isn't, like, cranked way down. It should be at, like, 100 PSI. Alright, 100 PSI. I got my safety glasses on and I'm standing back a little bit. Let's see if this works or not, okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's definitely more dramatic than the original one. but not quite as strong as I was hoping it would be. Maybe... Hang on, let me put some of these... I'm realizing now I'm gonna have to play this fucking puzzle game every single time I pop the thing out. I think also the fact that I have to switch the thing on might also be causing it, because the instantaneous nature of the airflow is gonna be like part of what makes it really pop out. Oh, I lost one of my pieces. Also, this guy, I loosened him up, but he still didn't come out. One of the pieces went way over here. We'll try it one more time with the compressed air. It's not bad by any stretch, but I think it could be better. So this time we're gonna set with the valve wide open, and I'm gonna connect the valve and see if that's any more instantaneous. Okay. We get pretty good air. It was like two feet or whatever, a fly on it. That ain't bad, man. That ain't bad. But I want to try, let's just say a little bit stronger option. Because that's pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. But let's get this guy fastened in. It does feel weird doing it this way. It does feel like this is the proper orientation for it. I don't know why. I think it's just because that's how I've been looking at it the whole time. Well, this time this piece flew out, so it just got stuck the first time, I guess. This time all of them flew out. Now, I need to stress the pressure of this CO2 cylinder is about 100 times... Sorry, about 10 times that of the compressed air. Type exclamation point to see the to see a chat replay with a measuring stick. What the fuck? Alright, so one of these guys is around 1,000 PSI, so a lot higher pressure than what we just did with the compressed air. So, let's see if this is a dramatic difference, or if maybe we're being bottlenecked from something else, because I don't really know. Who knows? Who knows what the bottleneck of it launching is? The air compressor did a pretty good job. I just want to see if we can get more power. All right. 3, 2, 1, baby. That was incredibly disappointing. So that was worse. And they're all cold now. Also, it smells like ass. I wonder why that was so weak. I wonder if it takes... ice buildup in channels. I wonder if that contributed. That wouldn't be the only thing. I do wonder if it's the fact, because when I just hard connected, it did it a lot better. I wonder if the limiting factor on this is how instantaneous it is. Is that a Whippet crack? It's not Whippets. It's CO2 can. Maybe I screwed it on too slow. I'll try it one more time to see if I didn't just get unlucky. With Oxy settling gas. See, I wanted to avoid building a bomb on stream since that's illegal. Alright. Let's see if I do it faster, if it's more strong, or if just the start of the flow is, like, not good enough, because that might be the bottleneck. Damn, it really just isn't enough, despite being a higher pressure. This is an interesting one. Tube up your butt and fart. I don't know why I read some of these things, man. I'll be honest, I did not expect this result. I thought that this one would be more violent. Well, now I'm wondering, what do we do to up the ante? The air compressor actually did a pretty good job. Time to give up and bake another Homer cake? Shut the fuck up. Also, we're not giving up. We have other options. We haven't run out of all our options yet. Is the underside hollow? No, there's like tubes that run through the center of the print. It's a very 3D printer optimized design. You could never cast this. Aye. How do we get the receipt printer to print? I got some news for you, bro. Ron Flockhart, thank you for the 5 months of T2. I appreciate you. Shadow Gamer, thank you for the 3 months. And JT Wusky, thank you for the 2 months. The Whippet making the most anticlimactic outcome. That is actually disappointing. These things were the fucking, like, beasts in the... when I made the drink chugger. And in this one, it was just like, word. Well, I can tell you this, it's a lot easier to manage the, it's a lot easier to control the timer on the CO2, or on the, air compressor than it is the CO2. So, that's kind of better for, like, doing this stream. Too much space to fill? Yeah, I think it's that by the time... because this doesn't release its pressure, like, it's releasing its pressure through this tiny, tiny little hole here. So I think when I'm doing something with one of these CO2 canisters, like with the chugger, where it's releasing all its pressure into another vessel, you get this really strong pressure vessel. But when it's just dumping it out, like, because it's such a small little capillary hole, by the time it builds up pressure, the pieces are already out. In this case, it would actually be better if the pieces weren't as loose, because they would stick in and the pressure would build before it blew them out of the top. You know? I don't know. Generally, though, I didn't want them to be tight because I didn't want it to build up pressure and blow one out and not the others. Drill all the holes bigger. It needs a burst disc to quick release pressure. What is a burst disc? That's something I'm not familiar with if it's real. Sometimes people just make shit up or make movie references that I've never heard of. Alright, hang on. Rupture disc is a pressure relief device that fails as a predetermined pressure or vacuum. Ah, I see. Well, I don't have a burst disc, unfortunately. So I can't do... Because I see what you're saying is... It would build up pressure and then blast it all at once, right? It's a membrane that breaks at a certain pressure. It's more of a safety thing anyway. I mean... I've leveraged worse. Here's my burst disc. I'm gonna fucking put a balloon in between the canister and the ends. And then when it builds up enough to pop it, then it's gonna blow high pressure through the entire system. Now, some may say the setup is incredibly strenuous, but you know, I think that's a quitter's attitude. Now, hopefully, this guy doesn't limit the flow too much. Let me do a little test with this solenoid, because I want to make sure that this can actually work. Hang on. If we have these solenoid systems, I'm pretty well familiar with these guys. Here's one that looks like it's been used for smoking shit. Excellent. Shit has tar buildup in it, man. Some of the projects I do absolutely fuck up my equipment, and then I don't think to get new ones. I've been screwed over before because I've been like, oh, I don't need to buy this, I already have it. And then it turns out, yeah, I already have it, but it's like been fucked up. Pressure! Or, my vacuum pump, I think was the last time that happened to something. Alright, hang on. And then, see, this also has tar in it. What the fuck was I doing with these, man? This one, both of these have tar! Try soaking it in isopropyl. I can tell you, because I have cleaned my fittings out before. I cleaned it after I did the cigarette steak video, the infamous cigarette steak video. I cleaned out a ton of my fittings that I used in that so I could reuse them, and it was one of the hardest cleaning jobs I've ever done. It was such a pain in the ass. And then if we take a short length of hose, let me see if this... Because this shouldn't affect the ability for this to work, right? Alright, and then when I press this... No, it did affect it. Oh, there we go. Okay, wait. When it's given full reign to just blow through, it does pretty well. Let's see how it does without all the shapes in there. Let's just reload a couple. That's pretty good. Cigarette steak is an anti-smoking PSA. It really is. I think that might be why YouTube was fine with it. They're like, yeah, this makes smoking look horrible. We'll let that one pass. See, I'm only concerned about the solenoid and how effective it's going to be because it looks like it's the actual where the air goes through is not as wide as connecting the hose directly. This doesn't choke down. This is just as wide as the hose is. I'm just trying to avoid any choke points, you know? Okay, so this is sealed, normally closed. Connect this here. We'll load it up again so that we can get a clean test on this guy. I'm missing this. This guy likes to fly. Holy shit. You think it's maybe because he's the lightest one? He keeps flying out. All right. 3, 2, 1. No, no, no! You limit the flow too much, man! Alright, hang on. That was weak as. What are they doing? Okay. There are other ways to get around this. Nah, that sucks. Well, hang on a second. Hang on a second, hang on a second. I've got... I know a couple ways we can increase the flow. Some would say that it takes unconventional methods. Hang on a second. What if instead of one solenoid, which is limiting the flow a little too much, what if instead we broke out 2 more solenoids so it could release it all at once? That seems pretty epic, in my opinion. These both already have valves on them, too, now that I'm looking at it. Oh, also, you know what I didn't think of? Oh, wait, holy shit, this already has a... Well, if this went into the other side. Yeah, hang on. Let's try what 2 of these are gonna do. Look, all I'm thinking is that if the limiting factor is that only so much air can get through, then I think what you do is you just increase the number of them, and now suddenly more air can get through, right? Alright, hang on. This is with 2, and then we can add a 3rd. Yo, Ollywall, thank you for the $20. The original Ultra Lim made me laugh and promised $20 for it. Light this on fire too, please. For 20 bucks? Sure. Don't worry, bro. Ultimate Zinzar, thank you for the fresh prime. And Jimmy, thank you for the fresh prime sub. I appreciate you. Get out of here. All right. Let's fix this guy up. Good grief. We'll start with a loaded board, just because I'm curious. All right. Are they in reverse? I think I ran them in reverse by mistake. Oopsie. Okay, well, hang on a second. That's not quite... That's not quite what we're after. Is that 3D printed? Yes, it is. What the fuck? Oh, half of it was in reverse. Wait, what? Is this? What the fuck is the right order? Is there something wrong with these other solenoids? Alright, maybe this isn't the solution. Okay, that's the right order. I see, I see. I had one of them swapped around. Well, luckily, half power wasn't enough to really blow him out of here. Let's try 2. Okay, that's a little bit better. Love to see it. You know what would go even better than 2? You know what would work even better than having 2 of them in here? Having 3 of them in here. I'm gonna be pretty good at speed building this thing up. Adding more crap between the air source and the game theme seems like it's missing brain cells. I am increasing the throughput by spreading out the airflow between multiple choke points so that it is not all through one. If you don't know what you're talking about, you are not obligated to speak. I need another fitting for this third one. Missing one short. Three-quarter-inch NPT is very close to 1/2 inch, but I agree you should spread it out. Okay, Megamind. Riddle me this. The air compressor that I own outputs at 1/4 inch NPT. That is the output of the source. Are you implying that taking out from 1/4 inch NPT wide open connector and plugging that into a 1/2 inch, which I didn't 3D print this to have, by the way, so I would have to 3D print a new one. I'm rage baiting, please chill. Okay, well, I mean, you seem really dedicated to living the life of a rage baiter, so have an hour in the box, motherfucker. No, bro, you got mad. Bro, chill. I'm being disingenuous on purpose. Into the fucking box. I don't understand the numbers. It's the size of the fitting. It's the size of the fitting. It's a 1/4 inch NPT fitting, as opposed to a 1/2 inch is quite a bit bigger. But my air compressor doesn't output to a 1/2 inch, so it doesn't matter if I use it out. I was saying it doesn't matter if I put a 1/2 inch on this because it's coming from a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. So the width of the hole at the source is gonna be the choke hold here, the choke point. Let's see what we got here. And now if we have another one. I think we're gonna do this little short around here. I don't want a bunch of I mean, I'm trying to minimize the amount of interconnects I have here. But there is only so much I can minimize it. How's a timer thing gonna work? I can use a digital timer for this. Also need another splitter. Validates banned chatter? How? They said use a quarter. They said use a half-inch NPT. I don't have half-inch NPTs either, so I can't even fit to them. I don't have them because even when I've wanted more throughput, once again, my source doesn't have the throughput, so it doesn't matter. Like, what do you want from me, man? I'm not gonna even carry the part. Now I have 3 fucking solenoids that all work in tandem. So they will all open their valve at the same time. Oh, hang on, my laundry's done. Let me swap that over real fast. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Just doing my chores because I stayed up too late last night streaming. I didn't have time to do this. Alright, hang on. Now I get the others. Salvaging these shits from the Mr. Beast blinding helmet. Alright, hang on a second. Yo, Boip, thank you for the fresh Prime sub. Appreciate ya. Now we split this guy. We had to split it to 3s on input and output. Oy, oy. Okay. Didn't have reverse polarity on that one. Let's see if this actually increased the throughput enough. We can check it out. Okay, now we're actually getting it flinging the pieces around. Nice, nice, nice. What if it's not a complete board and we just have some of them? Yeah, it still works. Alright, sweet. So that's actually pretty good again now. We've got it hitting like pretty severe levels, but I do feel like there's maybe a little more we can do. Also, this manifold is crazy. I wonder... Hang on. It's probably better... This being shorter is probably better for this. This cable being shorter is probably better. But, what if also... it sprung the board up at the same time that it blasted all the pieces out? What if there was a twofold... What if there were two things that happened here? I'm trying to think, because we're doing this electrically. I was thinking originally, okay, PSIs of this is probably not going to be strong enough, but we'll be able to do it with the motor turning the CO2 cart in. But now I'm like, hang on a second. If we're doing this electrically and we're going to use an electric timer, then I'm thinking we can add a whole ass other thing. We can add other things to make it more dangerous. Hang on. First, let's get our electrical system set up. We'll just use an Arduino Uno. We don't need anything fancy. We don't need anything production ready. We're not selling this one to Hasbro. And then, let's see. Do I still have one of those little displays? Probably do, somewhere. We're gonna need one of these guys. Little relay board. Oh, actually... let's use my little 4-gang relay board so that we can trigger multiple. Or this 8-gang one if we really want to go crazy. These are 5-volt too, so they can run off this, but they can feed the 12-volt supply from something like this into the thing. I could have all of these go to the same... into the same thing. Yo! Oleander Designs, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Gift subs to Kiwi Boy, Biom, Lily Factual, Massiveel, and Billy the Possum. And Oleander Designs, thank you for the fresh sub. I appreciate you, man. Alright, we can do a single relay solution here. We want one of these guys. We want the... if I have one still. Maybe it's scarier if you don't know what... Maybe it's scarier if you don't actually know what the timer is, and it just plays like a countdown. It should play the fucking Sonic underwater music, where it starts going, and then it explodes. If you hollowed out the bottoms of the pieces, would that allow for better results? Let me think about that one. Maybe? I'm not gonna physically hollow out these pre-printed ones, but I am thinking, well, maybe if I printed them with a hollow bottom. I don't know. I'd have to remodel all of them and then print them all out again, which is probably not gonna be in the cards for this. And I don't think it would make a huge difference. I think maybe it'd be fairly marginal. How do you know that? I thought you didn't play video games. It's crazy, because I'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I'm like an adult. I don't play with toys anymore. And then, so it'll be like, oh, but you literally said when you were 12, you used to ride around in a Power Wheels car. And it's like, yeah. Oh, so you say you don't play with toys, yet when you were a child, you seem to have quite a toy collection. Yeah, dude, Sonic came out when I was like 10. When I was a kid, I played video games more. I wasn't a huge gamer, but I played some. People get me on this with Star Wars stuff, too. They'll be like, oh, I thought you weren't a fucking Star Wars soy boy. And I'm like, I don't really follow Star Wars now, but when I was a kid, I was into it. When I was like 12. I forgot Sonic is a boomer game. What are you fucking talking about, Naya? What do you mean you forgot it was a boomer game? It was made in like the early 90s. Did you ever play Mania? No, I haven't played Mania yet. And I'm gonna be real, I'm probably not gonna find the time to play Mania. The only game that I play for fun in my free time is Minecraft. Because, I don't know, man. It tickles the part of my brain that is just right. Unk Games SMH. Sonic 3 on the Genesis was peak. I never had the third one. I had the first and the second on the Genesis, and that was it. But it was peak. It was a lot of fun. Have you played the Create mod? Yeah, I have. It's real fun. I play on the... I play with my community. We have a vetted Minecraft server. But it is only people who have been in the community for a while that get let in. So, sorry, I'm not trying to discriminate the new people away. It's more just like, I don't know, new people who want to get in tend to be 15-year-olds who are like, I think it would be a really funny prank if I went and sabotaged people's stuff. I was like, nah. We just want to chill, bro. Be a chill guy, and you too may someday join. Hop on Fort with me, Unk. I'm playing Fortnite this weekend. Don't worry. I'm very likely going to be playing Simpsons level Fortnite with Chromu, Hina, and Mint. Dude, this is the tightest USB port of all time. That shit, they did not build that to spec. Not trying to be rude, how old are you? I'm 30. So, you know, out of the age where you should be playing, like... this is bait. You know what? I don't feel like baiting. I don't feel like rage baiting to this degree. Because one time I was like, yeah, I'm 30, so I'm like well out of the age where you should be playing like video games. And it's free bait, bro, because it gets everyone riled up. That's prime Unk Rage. Wait 3 months for when everyone forgets you said that and whip it out again. In December, my birthday is in December, so I will soon be older than 30, which is fucking ancient. Lube USB with WD-40? I don't believe so. I'm not doing that. Coming from Mr. Minecraft. Minecraft is fun. Minecraft is fun. It came out when I was like a senior in high school, though. Or maybe I was a junior in high school. I was in high school when beta like started becoming popular. Younger demos play video games less than 30-year-olds. I think that that's wrong, but I think that they're playing games on their phone, and older demos are playing like not even console, like the PC gamers. I think definitely skew older. Same month, year apart. We're pretty close. I was a senior when InfDev came out. I didn't hear about it when it was in InfDev. I know the first time I played Minecraft, it was Minecraft Classic, which does that even exist anymore? It was like the fucked up online one where if you accidentally mined water, it would instantly fill whatever void you were in. Hang on. You played it in your browser. Classic.minecraft.net. Oh, yeah, baby. I literally just booted it up. Alright, now I'm playing Minecraft in my browser. This is epic. This is heckin' epic. I'm changing the stream over to me playing Minecraft. The frame rate fucking sucks shit. What the hell? Alright, get out of here. Leave page. I'm just kidding, I'm not doing that. I plugged into Arduino to program it. The game is to turn this into a plastic claymore? Yeah, you're right, actually. Mine the water, do the glitch. I don't think it was a glitch. I think that was just how they made the game. I think that was just how they made it when they designed it. It's still up. It looks like it. It's on the official site. I remember it being brand new. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I played the classic, and then I played the mobile one when it came out. I didn't play that next, no, because then I bought beta. But my brother wouldn't buy it to play it with me. But then when mobile came out, which was right after the first, like, 1.0 came out, then we played together on mobile when that came out. And then he was like, oh, this game's actually fun. And then we started playing together. Then he bought a copy and we started playing together on PC. You should have been 14 when it came out. It would have ruined my life. I did so much stuff when I was a kid because I wanted to build things. And, like, I did. I built so much stuff and learned all this electronics and whatever, and how to program all these things. If Roblox and Minecraft had been, like, big when I was little, it literally would have ruined my life. I would have played Minecraft instead of learning shit. I never would have actually locked in. Yeah, I remember the Nether reactor. Did they get rid of that? I haven't played mobile since literally 2010 or whatever. Worse, you would become a front-end developer. I learned a lot through it. It's a lot better. Okay, so the games that I played when I was like a kid, and by the way, I'm not dawdling around here. I'm programming while I'm talking to you. The games that I played when I was a kid, which were before Minecraft came out, I really liked the Sim games. Not like The Sims, but like Sim City and Sim Theme Park, Sim Town, Sim Golf. Like all these ones where you like had to design like a thing and then manage it. Also, you're not gonna fucking believe me. Sim Golf, you laugh at that one. It was literally the best sim game. It was better than Sim Theme Park, in my opinion. Because the mechanics of having to, like, make courses that would make people want to come in and play on them were a lot more, like... there was a lot more to it, I feel like. It was the best sim game. I think Sim City was my favorite. But Sim Golf is like a sleeper hit. And I only had it because I said that I liked games like that, and my grandpa, who likes golf, was like, oh, I'll get him this. And then it ended up being like one of the greatest ones. Sim Copter? I never had that one. The golfing part was also amazing. Yeah, no, it's a pretty solid on the golf games tier list. I used to Google any word I could think of and add tycoon next to it. Thrillville was tight. I wanted that one, but I never had that one. SimCity 2000, I played the absolute shit out of. I played that like crazy. I was never great at it. Bro, let me tell you something called Roblox. Roblox is like all tycoon games, man. Here's the thing. I love playing SimCity, but I think I was kind of dog shit at it because my cities never got giant. I never had a big city with a bunch of skyscrapers, which is always what I wanted. That shit always was straight up slums. I would like try to build it up and I'd get like the commercial districts and then it would be like, oh, well now you need to try to like expand to like medium grade commercial. Okay, and then I get that. Okay, now we're starting to get like little buildings coming up. Nice, nice. And then those, I could just never expand them enough that then they suddenly wanted the large, like big business zoning. I don't know, man. City Skylines is fun. I talked to, when I was at TwitchCon, I met one of the guys who works for Paradox, which is the guys that publish City Skylines. They act like City Skylines 2 just doesn't even exist. They still talk, they're still like, nah, man, if we're recommending one, we're gonna recommend the first one. It was a, but I've heard City Skylines is really good. The first one is really good. I played The Sims Online when it was new, and it turned into Cybersex City. You probably didn't understand the mechanics. You're probably right. I'm pretty sure that I did not understand the mechanics of SimCity 2000 enough to make a good city, and that's why I was not able to do it. Because I think it was that I understood it enough early on, but then once you get into it more, I wasn't scaling my knowledge right. Is the second one that bad? It was super, like, rough on the PC. Like, you had to have, like, the most juiced PC of all time to run it. They tried to do a lot of, like, people simulation, but it just didn't quite hit the same as the first one. They were trying to do some different stuff. It just didn't play out so well. Kerbal Space and City Skylines, if there being no sequel. I feel really bad that Kerbal Space 2 was considered pretty bad because, I've rated the dude before, but there's a Scientech streamer, EJSA, who basically blew up because he would do Kerbal Space Program, but like from the perspective of like an engineering guy. And it was really, he's a cool dude. And he did a lot of cool stuff with it, a lot of really neat builds. And then it started falling off and people weren't watching him as much. And then they announced Kerbal Space Program 2 and he was like, finally, bro, we're coming back. And then it released and it was dog shit. That's fucking disappointing, man. Can you go on tour to do what? Oi, oi. Wasn't KSP2 also a Bitcoin miner? I hope it wasn't. To sing? It was so bad it killed the company. I wish Spore lived up to the hype. I remember Spore. I remember playing the demo of Spore and being really impressed by it. And, it is a little sad that it didn't come to be, you know? Fuck this programming. ChatGPT, write me a code. Write me code for an Arduino that, hang on a second. Do I still have those little displays? Because I could use one of those guys. I bought these a while ago. I wanted to play around with them. Not here. What do I do with them? Oh, here they are. I bought these little OLED displays. Here we go. Here we go. Is bro using ChatGPT? I may be cheating right now. Don't get me, bro. You know what, actually? I don't want to fiddle with OLED. I'll play with this off stream to learn how to use it, but I haven't used this particular one, and I'm realizing now it's one of those that has the dual color. It's a 2-color display, and it probably has some weird-ass driver to actually interface with it. Let's use a basic piezo speaker as the main output for this guy. A button to start, a button to stop, and a piezo speaker. Here we go. All right, we'll use the... Yeah. Write me code for an Arduino that waits for an input from a push button, then starts a 30-second countdown beeping on a piezoelectric speaker connected to pin 7 every second. In the last 10 seconds, it should beep every 500 millisecond, and the last 3 seconds every 250 millisecond. Slab coding. The most real embedded programming moment. Why write the code myself when I can outsource it? When I can outsource it to a soulless artificial intelligence. Sparks Maker, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Hope you guys are doing all right. I should say a push button on pin 8. Oh, wait. I should say a piezo connected to pin 6, because that has PWM. If a push button on pin 9 is pressed, the timer stops and resets until pin 8 is pressed again. If the timer reaches 0, hold pin 5 high for 1 second. Easy. It can easily do this. Why waste my brain power writing my own error-ridden code when ChatGPT can write code with just as many errors for me? Sometimes it does help me to just do this. Of all the things that I think AI should be doing shit with, coding is one of them. Why? Because I fucking hate programming. And this is not, like, mission critical type shit. The guys that give me sponsors ask me if I would ever take a sponsor if the place that did it, or like the product, used AI, and I said only if the AI is being used for programming. It's the only thing that I'm like, yeah, this is what we should use this shit for. Because let me tell you, man, especially when it's like, oh, I want to write a script in Python that outputs something on a serial terminal every 2 seconds. And it's like, okay, if I want to figure that out myself, I got to dive into Pi serial, and like, I have to go through all these documentations to figure out how each little thing works. Or I use what's effectively like a massive aggregated library of code knowledge to just tell me how to do it. And then I can fuck around with it as is. EEs hate coding. It's true. That's why that's why I try to avoid it. That's half the fun. This is why I went EE and not CS. Buttons use input, pull up, wire each button to ground. It doesn't even need to tell me that, dog. I can figure that out. Tone is non-blocking. Stays responsive to the reset button at all times because it avoids delay, and use millis instead. If your piezo is an active buzzer, use digital write instead. It's not an active buzzer, it's a real piezo. Look at that Arduino Uno. Guys, could someone find me that TikTok video / Instagram reel where it's a guy, it's like a robot cutting a dude's head, and it has this fucking paragraph of tests, or cutting a guy's hair, sorry, not his head, and it has like a paragraph of text overlaid on it that's like, when the AI barber is talking about some shit like the new AI models got tighter USB ports, but you keeping your mouth shut because the Fade GPT kind of hitting. Anyway, I need that one. I thought of that the other day, and it's been stuck in my head, and I can't find it. If anyone got that one on deck, hit me up in the Discord. No one was able to find the stupid other one that I had stuck in my head, but I eventually went through my old likes and found it. What on earth? Once again, I'll say, you know, I'm not to act like I'm giga enlightened or anything, but, you know, I'm not like those other streamers that react to videos on stream. You know, this is more of a Plato's Cave meme review type of environment, where I react to memes that I saw like yesterday, and then I describe them to you for you to imagine how funny they were without actually showing you the source. Daroon Live, thank you for the 100 bits. I have zero experience in the current activity you're partaking in, but I'm here to backseat and tell you how you can do it better because I'm completely qualified to partake in such an action. Thank you, brother. Sorry for reposting. Twitch cucked my bits. Don't worry, bro. You're doing the same thing everyone else is doing with that activity. Night Dude, pick an ethical orphanage or elementary school to test this in, okay? Don't worry, I'll sure thing, Ollie Wall. Thank you for the $5 and everything else you've donated. I appreciate you. I thought I would jet. What keyboard do you use? The clickety-clackety is immaculate. Thank you for the $5. Optima Unified. It is a... I don't know. I built it. I built it years ago. I believe the body, it's okay, hang on. What are the actual key switches? Because that's probably the one you're the most concerned about, if I had to guess. Let me pull one of my keys off. Do I have a key remover somewhere? Yes, I do.
Hang on. I'm trying to get the key remover in here.
Oh, it's Kael'th bronze, I believe. And then the body. Where did I get this thing? Does it say on it? It doesn't. It's really heavy. This keyboard weighs a fucking ton. It's a solid cast metal body. I have no information for you. I'm sorry. I don't remember. It was years ago that I built this. But it did cost me like $200, so it better be good. And it is quite good, actually. I really like my keyboard. Cast? Milled? Sorry, it's probably milled. I don't think it's a cast. I don't think it's aluminum cast. I also don't think it's aluminum. It's too heavy. I think it's something else. It's not bronze. Aye. Moog, thank you for the 2 months. Man made of spam, thank you for the fresh prime. Back again, Twitch chat snorts mayo. Got a jet. Blasts off by shitting. Thank you for the $2. James Matthews Jr., thank you for the $5. Just got here after watching K-Pop Demon Hunter. Solid 8 out of 10. You should check it out. Dude, I need to finish Chainsaw Man so I can watch the movie while it's still in theaters. Lithium, thank you for the Prime sub. And, Anon, thank you for the 420. When are you playing Be a Fish again? I've been watching every stream just to not miss it. Maybe someday, brother. I've lost enough money on Be a Fish, though. Kael'th Speed Bronze switches are one of the best sounding switches ever. There's a good chance the body is a Keytron. Okay. Fucking keyboard master logged in for this one. It is the Kael'th Speed Bronze. I remember specifically that the only reason I used bronzes instead of box jades, which are what I wanted to use, is that I needed the keyboard done soon, and the jades were on back order at whatever time when I bought them, because this was like right after COVID. And they had the bronzes at Micro Center in stock. Is that a cast iron keyboard? I should build a cast iron keyboard body. That sounds like great merch. Fair enough. Thanks for the deep dive. No problem. Thank you for the $2. Holla holla. $2. Alright, hang on a second. I need to set me up with some buttons here. And we can just use a breadboard for this. We ain't gotta be too professional. Give it a band handle. Box jades? Yeah, I love box jades. I have another keyboard that I made on stream that uses them. They're real nice. Cause I wish that my bronzes had a little more, like had a higher actuation pressure. But I know the jades do, if I'm remembering correctly at least. The jades have a pretty high actuation pressure. It was either that or the box navies, but I think those are a little more controversial. That's right, Chad. I own a Mekanzik Fiel with holy pandas. Anyway, I should stop spending bits. Yeah, because you got a fucking $1,000 keyboard, dog. Thank you for the bits, though, dude. Life. What is it? Well, an old friend of mine used to stream by Floop. He had some fucking expensive ass keyboard. He paid like, I want to say like $1,300 for this thing to build it. So for some reason, like people that don't get into electronics or anything at all get into keyboards. I know like several people that are like They like learned how to solder just so they can make keyboards. So it's quite a thing. Which is kind of cool. It's very much a game that I am not optimized to play because I hate waiting on things. And all the keyboard sales are like, oh, you want this cool looking keycap set? Okay, get on this, buy it on this fucking wait list and then wait 2 years for it to show up. And it's like, I'm not doing all that, man. In 2 years, I won't give a shit. Hang on a second. What did I come over here for? Oh, I came over here for the bigger breadboard. I think that's what I was up to. Oh yeah, I can use this guy. I forgot about this. Aye. 1,300 for a keyboard. If I remember correctly, the body of the keyboard was cast bronze and cost like $900 all on its own. It looked insane. It was a crazy looking board. But I don't know, man. I don't remember details about it. Have you seen that Cherry almost went bankrupt? The same guy also told me that apparently Cherry keyboards are not actually that good. They're just like... or sorry, Cherry switches aren't that good. He was like, yeah, they're like the lesser end of like the Switch game in modern year, but they were like the first ones to really do good mechanical switches. So that's why they're popular. How did Cherry almost go bankrupt though? What the hell are they doing? What is this even connected to? Alright, well, I'm going to set up 2 buttons on here as my... You know, we don't need anything too fancy. We're just prototyping. I was merely prototyping, sir. Alright, well, I just launched that one across the room by mistake. Had this game as a kid, waiting for you to go full plastic explosives on it. I mean, I know you won't. Yeah, well, I think the primary reason I won't is that I'm not legally able to own those. You guys, I appreciate that that some of you guys have such, like, a mythos about me that you think I can, like, get stuff that literally is not legal, but... I ain't magic, man. I can only do so much. That's no BS. The alternatives are just priced better. They lost a ton of money because high-end mechanical keyboard market crashed because anyone serious uses optical keys. I like the mechanical keyboard because it makes click-clacky sounds. What can I say? But also, I'm not a hashtag gamer. I'm in fact a scrub. I'm a hashtag scrub. Ah! Alright. Modern Doggo, thank you for the gift sub to Red Rum and Ketchup. Red rum and ketchup. I like this little hat for this little breadboard because it has power rails on it and will make it a lot easier for me to set this up. Do 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 do. Start. Stop. And then the other two will just be connected to ground. Alright. And then we'll connect this one to ground as well. And this should be... I mean, we'll know if it's working if when I plug it in, it starts beeping. Otherwise, I gotta rethink how my piezo is wired. Extract, aka soak something in alcohol for 5 hours. Great stream. I did speed extracts using an ultrasonic cleaner, which was a pretty cool stream, and that's kind of what you're after in an extract stream. Honestly, I could run it back. That was not only a fun stream, but people really liked the YouTube video for it. So, it's worthy of a run back if I had enough interesting concoctions to make with it. He's not beeping. He's not beeping, which makes me think it didn't work. Buzzer should be on 6. Oh! Alright, turn that off for a second. Hang on a second. I think that maybe I shouldn't have used a resistor in between it. I think it's making it too quiet. That shit is barely audible. Or maybe it's just loud in this basement. I think it's just loud in this basement. Yeah, you can hear it. Alright, I see how it goes. I heard a tiny beep. It's really quiet. I need to connect it to like an amplifier of some sort, or you guys won't be able to hear the beeping. I should also connect it to an LED that can flash every time that it goes to beep. Hang on a second. I'm gonna go piss real fast. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Oh, you're never gonna piss for now. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Oh, you're never gonna piss for now. Pissing the night away. Pissing the night away. You drink a whiskey drink, you drink a vodka drink, you drink a lager drink, you drink a soda drink, you drink a soda drink, that's a good time. I drink it all, never mind, it's the best times. Oh, Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy. I get knocked down. Alright, hang on. Take this relay. Yeah, this is gonna work pretty well, I think. And then let's rerun this over with one of these guys. The fastest pisser in the Midwest area. This, and then I'm using these softer ones for the direct interface because these things, if you use this bell wire, it fucking gapes the holes on the Arduino headers. Alright, hang on a second. Someone asked me a question, but I was locked in and didn't see what it is. Do you think annoying... ... I'll be the judge of this one. Do you think annoying orange was someone's sexual awakening? Okay, you know what? I'll be real. I didn't think that was what the message was gonna say. I don't know, probably. It wouldn't surprise me. But that's because, like, nothing surprises me anymore because, dude, some of the people you meet on the internet they're into some crazy stuff just because I think they've been on the internet a little too long. Real ass dono. Tub thumping stream win. That would be trash, but I appreciate I appreciate you. I forgive you, last dono for the night. Bro was a liar. But thank you for the $2 and the $5. Thank you. VJ for their name. Thank you for the 100 bits. When are we getting the subathon version for piss times? What? Alright, hang on a second. Tie this guy here. This one here. Here we go, here we go. Why is he quiet? I'm sorry, you haven't seen what locking in looks like? Maybe you should do it a few more times in your own life. I'm trying to get the, I'm trying to get my shit connected up so that we can have a working prototype. Why is chat more brain damage than usual? YouTube co-stream. I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty funny that the Twitch chat, like, is like, oh yes, the YouTube is so stupid. Compared to us, the pinnacle of, you know, sense and sensibility, fucking twitch.com. Sorry, twitch.tv, twitch.tuvalu. It's not twitch.com. My bad. That was a scrub. That was a scrub error. Dude, I actually have trouble putting a shape in the damn hole. Bro, you ever think the shapes sometimes be a little hard? I've got a shape right here that's hard, pants grab. Hey, Lamel. Update on the UPS plane crash. I want to know what goes through the mind of someone who posts this. Dog, this is the last place on Earth to be discussing a legitimate tragedy. This is the last fucking forum on the planet where you would be bringing this up, dog. What are you thinking? Alright, hang on. Let's see if this works. It's gotta get... It has 30 seconds. Alright. Oh, fuck, I forgot to turn... Motherfucker, I forgot to plug it in. Pretend that just didn't happen. Pretend that didn't just happen, okay? Okay, we do it again. That fucking scared me for some reason. Okay, okay. Jeez, man. Holy shit. All right. Good news. It works. But I think there could be one little vector that would make this cooler. And that vector would be if the thing fucking jumped in the air while blowing the pieces everywhere. The sound is scarier than the explosion. It's really loud. Compared to the beeper, especially. Hang on, hang on. Let me see what I got over here. Because I know I have some... I know I have some small and really fast pneumatics. We probably only need one cylinder, don't we? if I had to guess, we probably don't need a lot. We probably don't need a bunch. We just need one, like, strap to the back to kick it up in the air. Right? Preferably toward the user. Wait, hang on a second. I need more, even more air splitters. Even more tubing and air splitters. We got some stuff to do. All right, Mr. Beast helmet has been fully lobotomized at this point. I think it's time to say goodbye to an old artifact here. He's missing all his characteristic parts. Okay. Another splitter. This one will go to this guy, actually. So, we can hook this to the same manifold as the rest of these guys. So we don't even need extra logic or anything. The artifacts exist to be stripped. It is. There's very few that have been deemed, like, too good to strip for parts. Who needs a child blinder when you could have a child shrapnel delivery system? I'm trying to think, what is stuck around that I'm like, I will not strip it? For a long time, I didn't strip the X-ray gun out, but that one had so much money worth of parts that I eventually had to. It's literally too good to not strip out. Maybe you bolt this to the bottom. And then bend this twice. You bend it up and then you bend it out and then you attach this to the bent out part. If you got the boost, I'm never gonna gut the boost compass. It's way too cool and nothing on it is that valuable. Everything in the boost compass is parts I already have, like, excess of. It's literally that. You're right. That's one that I haven't ever gutted. Is the plasma chamber still in the same spot? The plasma chamber is still around, yeah. I remember I was ordering some stuff. I got distracted by, well, first, not even the road trip. It was TwitchCon and stuff after, and having to get stuff ready for the robots. But now I can probably start working on it again, honestly. The alcohol vape, that'll probably end up getting scrapped out at some point. It hasn't been yet, but it's really unwieldy. It's literally still on the damn desk. I don't know what to do with it. Because it doesn't stand upright on its own. I don't know, that one's more likely to get just like, thrown out because I don't want to store it. If I'm being completely honest. Ah. We're using the most secure fastening method of all time. Get ready, bros. The alcohol vape is too dangerous to have it fall into the hands of evil. You're right about that. The alcohol vape is sinister. It's a sinister device. It cannot be freely released into the world. X-ray high voltage is more like 100,000. I've run you can get X-rays from less, but a real X-ray tube, they often do run up to like 100,000. Unlike, you know, a professional one. So it's certainly up there. Alright, see this little skinny, tiny pneumatic tube? This guy is, the general rule of thumb if you want a pneumatic to do something is the skinnier the cylinder is, the less strong it is, but the faster it is. So, fat tube, slower, but more strength. Skinny tube, less strong, it's weaker, but it's fast. And we want the fastest one possible, so I'm doing this. And that should punch the ground and then flip the board up, is the idea. And I'm gonna split the, I'm gonna split this off. So here it splits. And I'm just gonna split it again, basically. Double split it. And then this is gonna go to this guy, which, okay, so, just as a little informative if you're curious about how to do stuff with these pneumatics, because when I initially started doing projects with pneumatics, there's not a lot of info on them. There's people that use them, but it's such like an industrial use thing, right? There's not a whole lot of info on how to, like, get started messing with them. And so I mistakenly bought a bunch of these solenoids thinking that I could control them, but what you actually need is one of these guys, which is an AB solenoid, specifically for controlling one of these. So you have one tube that'll go to your push and one that goes to your pull, because the way that these work is you push in one here to extrude, and then you push in here to suck it back in. And if you use one of these, you can only go one way. So you need this one, which switches which one is pushing out and which one is dumping the air out of this outlet here. So it's a pretty big distinction. So that's why I have to add this different looking solenoid. I don't know. I used to do stuff with pneumatics all the time because it's really strong. It's a good way to do stuff that's like robot controlled or like chat controlled with like a lot of physical strength without needing like crazy expensive motors and stuff. It has the con that you need to have compressed air to run it, but it has the advantage that you can get a lot of power out of it. All you need is an air compressor. Disadvantage, you need an air compressor. Advantage, all you need is an air compressor. I have a big manifold as well. My one of the biggest advantages ever since I was able to start doing this full time is that my stuff starts getting a lot less janky. This one's looking pretty janky though. This is looking more like one of my old projects, but at least the perfection board is easy to follow along. Because I remember someone told me, and it stuck with me, they're like, oh yeah, your projects are cool, but I just never know what you're doing. Because I just come in and there's just a big mess of wires. And I can't tell what's going on. And I was like, I should probably focus on making my stuff look a little better just so that you can, like, tell what it is. Something like this, we are getting a little into this zone with, like, this guy. But you can see the perfection board, at least. And it's obvious what that's trying to be. Okay, when I energize this, let's see if I plugged it in backwards by mistake. I didn't plug it in backwards, I just forgot to... Well, maybe I did. I forgot to plug this into the... Hang on. I think this guy's probably a pretty good length for this. I forgot to hook up my solenoid. Alright, didn't connect it backwards. Alright, let's try it out with this one. This should be a more... That is not the... That is not the spot. Not to smack talk the original perfection or like overstate my 3D design, but mine literally is so much more satisfying to use than the original. Having the big deep slots on it, it's like nice. Everything like fits in real nice and snug. It was Scrub Fiend, thank you so much for the fresh prime. Nucleus, thank you for the 6 months. Modem Doggo, I want an overpowered toaster that rapidly toasts the bread, shoots the toast out, like hitting the ceiling if not bouncing off, and then blast the slices with liquid butter as they exit the slot, so there's a chance the slices will stick to the ceiling and you will have to scrape it off with a broom. Epic. Turtle Taco, heard you're working on a prototype, as in you're the prototype of person to be awesome. Ayla Malgam, thank you, Turtle. You're always sending wholesome fake outs instead of the usual your mama jokes. When are we getting the subathon version of tub thumping for BRB? Wait, I think I read that one already. I don't know what that means, man. Anyway. Subathon version. Alright, guys. Now, remember, don't be scared. Let me put my safety glasses on. Don't be scared when it pops up. Holy shit. Ah, the pieces went everywhere, man. Okay, that is more dramatic. I'll give it that. That actually is better. Alright, hang on a second. This blasted perfection pieces all over the basement. Let's move this over to the desk, and then I can actually, like, you can actually, like, watch me play it, or I can actually try to play the game. gotta tape the board down so the pieces go further. What do you mean tape the board down? Someone said cover the pieces in Vaseline, making them airtight. They'll launch more. I see what you're thinking. Like, because I was wondering this when I was originally designing the board. But the problem is that if you have pieces that are more airtight and, like, harder to expel from the hole, because you want there, that's the thing, that's the trade-off, right? You want there to be a little bit of force so that it has to lift them up out. It can build up enough pressure that it launches them. But the problem is that if your board looks like this, and you're putting them in, you still want the pieces that are in there to launch out, even if the other ones aren't. And those are just going to be empty holes. So if there's any resistance, like this one even isn't like completely smooth, then the piece just stays in the slot. It doesn't launch out. So that's the reason why I don't have that. All right. Let me move this over. Yeah, bro, it's easy. It's portable. You just gotta move all this. Come on, hang on a second. Let's shift over to the other cam. There we go. All right, hang on. You gotta actually see me try to solve it. Let's get corned up. Does he ever finish the green drink? WD-40 in the holes. To some people, like, some of you guys got one shot by King of the Hill on your knowledge of, like, lubricants. The WD-40 is not a good lubricant for plastic. You would want like a lithium grease or like something more along those lines. For plastics, you don't tend to use WD-40 just because it's not very good. It's not good at the job of actually like lubricating the plastic. If my friend walks in with a perfection with an air compressor, I'm checking out, bro. It's a shame that this requires so many of these fucking solenoids, so it's very much not compact. Because I would like to have this one on retainer as a thing to subject other people to. Because, you know, it's not that dangerous or anything. Well, it's a little bit dangerous. But it's not, like, dangerous enough to be like, terrible. Speaking of, where's the safety glasses I have that can go over the corn head? Alright, fellas, it's time for the most dangerous game. Did I turn the mic on over here? Yes, I did. Okay. Don't know what I was worried about. Alright, here we go. Let's see. Ah. This is way too close to my head. Lower this desk. Lower this motherfucking thing. Slab plays perfection. Indeed. I just realized, you know what I forgot? Power tape. Ah! I'm actually surprised at how not good the the other stuff works. The CO2. I thought for sure that one was like a sure thing gonna work. OSHA thanks you for wearing safety glasses. I got things to see, okay? Alright. Ready? Let's see if I can even knock this out. I haven't tried it before. Holy shit. Some of these shapes. Some of these shapes are fucked up. Why'd I do this? Shit, it's beeping faster. Motherfucker! I almost had it. I was so close. Oh. Alright, hang on, hang on. Am I missing a piece? I think I'm missing a piece. I'm covered in pieces, man. I'm covered in Reese's Pieces. Am I missing another? I feel like there was a piece missing. Am I missing another piece? If I finish all the pieces on the table, I'm gonna smack the stop button. 30 seconds is like the time. That is like the amount of time to have it. Alright. Let's see. Ready, set. Okay. Easy ones first are actually like, fuck. Don't lose time to all the fucking hexagons and shit. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, bro. Come on, bro! Come on, bro! Oh, and wait, I was missing this guy. I was missing the triangle. I'm covered in pieces. You know, I feel like this isn't that unreasonable of a reskin of this game. It's not like it fucking explodes or anything. Triangle gone? Where did it go? Did it get lost here or did it get lost over there? That's the real question. Oh, one of the pieces is here. The diamond piece is over here. I don't see the triangle piece over here. This is the one I was missing the first time. Where the hell is the triangle? in my pocket. Is the triangle in there? I wasn't even in the triangle. Shit. Alright. I'll try run with everything but the triangle. It scares me when it explodes. It is scary, man. Okay. Motherfucker, can't do this. I'm surprised at how hard it is to actually do this. Come on. There's the triangle. Oh, shit! I had it, man! I had it! If I was just a little bit closer, it would have been fine. If I was just a little closer, it would have been fine. Also, ow! One of those smacked me up. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm missing. Oh! Okay, okay. Try it again. We can't end the stream until I've at least solved it without it exploding. It's literally so close. Oh, baby. Oh, oh. Good luck on those. It's beating faster. Yes! Yes! We solved it. We got it. We're fucking zooming, bro. He's getting a gold split. I didn't fumble. Some of these are like, you have to think about them more. I turned it on again so we get one more run of it. Now reduce the time. I don't have a way of doing that, but I really, it was like 1 or 2 seconds left when I got it. This guy often doesn't come out. Alright. Dude, this thing works pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie, it's pretty good. Play it drunk one day. This one's gonna go in the collection for future shenanigan games, because even if you don't have all this circuit connected to it, you can have another guy, like a host off to the side, who activates it. And I want to save stuff like this for if I ever had someone here to like play through games, which I think would be cool. That's pretty sick, dude. It's not, I wanted it to be more explosive, but there are limits to how explosive you can make this before it becomes like a danger of rupturing and throwing shrapnel everywhere. Unfortunately, there is that limit. Aye, aye. Gunpowder tips. HHO generator in the base. See, I like these ideas, but the problem is... Okay, see, this is the opposite. Here's how this happens when I plan streams like this. There's an element of risk. There's an element of risk in whether or not it's gonna be cool, because I don't want to just do it all, like, on my own, right? I don't want to do it all off stream, because that's lame. Like, then I already know if it's gonna work or not. Did you say I had an idea for operation with an arc welder? Yeah, I think that one will be fun too. So, like, with the drink chugger, I was really afraid that it just wouldn't be that powerful, and then it ended up being, like, ultra powerful. And I was like, actually, that thing was gas. This one, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be that powerful. And though we did make it work pretty well, I do wish that they, like, fucking launched to the damn moon. But, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't quite enough for that. I know the camera is going crazy with the focus. I can see it on the preview. Oi, oi. Have you tried 500 pounds of tannerite? Dude, you're supposed to have like 100 yards of distance for every, or 100 feet of distance for every pound of tannerite you detonate. I'd have to be in the other fucking state, dog. The fun is fucking around and finding out. Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? Sometimes it goes insane, and sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that works. But it's not like crazy. I thought for sure that cooking it up to the high PSI one would be more crazy, but something about, like, the influx is not quite the same. The solenoid can't hold back the pressure of a CO2 cart? It cannot. It will immediately blow the seals out of the solenoid. The CO2 cart is 10 times stronger than the highest rating of the solenoid. The solenoid's only rated for 110 PSI max. So that's what we had to deal with. So the I don't know. I'm happy it worked, man. I'm happy that the thing kicked up and actually did something. Let's fucking go, brother. If you filled an air mattress with helium, do you think you would float on it like Aladdin's carpet? Interesting. 1,000 PSI seem weaker than 110. Yeah, and you know what I think it is? I think it's because 110 PSI through a hole that's like 1/4 inch in diameter is more available pressure than 1,000 PSI through a tiny pinhole. The pinhole doesn't matter on something like the drink chugger because it has half a second to dump all of its air pressure into the vessel. But the something like this, it doesn't. That's a lot of helium. Yeah, I've talked to Airgas about getting a giant tank of hydrogen for inflatable things because it's so much cheaper. It's so funny that when I was looking up weather balloons, everyone was like, you better use helium. Hydrogen is just dangerous, bro. You don't understand. And then I talked to some people that actually launch weather balloons, and they were like, oh yeah, everyone uses hydrogen. It's so much cheaper. And if you're wondering, like, you're really gonna save a few bucks but introduce a explosive gas here, I think you need to understand that helium is like, it's like $30 a liter, and hydrogen is $1.20. Like, it's not a few bucks. It's like an absolute colossal amount of difference between the two. You got fooled by Reddit? I did. Hindenburg with air mattress. Destroying the world's helium reserve because a bird might get exploded. I don't think that was the concern. That'd be really funny if they were afraid the bird would explode. I think they're just more afraid of, like, random people having a big tank of helium gas. That's more what I'm guessing. I'd risk a Hindenburg for that difference. That said, I can get a big tank of hydrogen, and it would be useful to have hydrogen for other things, so I think that would be pretty cool. The noble gases are expensive. Dude, why is a CO2 refill, like, they quoted me at the local air gas, they quoted me like $80 to refill my, you saw the size of my tank. I can't remember what the grade is off the top of my head, but it's not a huge tank. It's like $80 for CO2? And they're like, oh yeah, this used to be like 30. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck, dog? You're the one selling it. Bro, why are you acting surprised about the prices? You are the one who's selling it to me. Autofocus is having a seizure. Yeah, I know. My condolences. Anyway, I'd call that a project well done. Let's raid out right now. Let's raid Hina. She's playing. What is she playing? The European Union tried to ban this game in 2007, but But the day I let a oh, I know. But the day I let a European tell me what to do is the day I am dead and buried. What is she doing?
Do you know how bad?
Oh, she's yapping. Okay. Anyway, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Now, I'm not promising you this is going to be the Thursday stream because I'm waiting on I'm printing a bunch of stuff out for it, and I'm still running some preliminaries. But the idea is that we are going to build a PC that is powered entirely by Ryobi batteries. That's the plan. That's the plan for Thursday's stream. And I'm buying a shitload of Ryobi batteries. And I'm 3D printing a bunch of battery connectors. So we'll see how that goes. I do love PC powered by bullshit. I've done that format a lot, but I have so much fun with it. So we'll see how well that works. Someone has generously mailed me a diesel engine. That apparently can run on biofuel, so something cool with that in the future. We'll see where we go. But in any case, I'll see you guys around. Have fun over at Hina's. Okay, wait, they already raided out. YouTube, I see you guys are corn posting. Did he just say I got a shape heart? No, I said that comment like 20 minutes ago. Ryobi. Yeah. So 10 minutes or 10 hours of battery time. The fuck is a Ryobi battery? It's like a drill battery. It's a battery for a cordless drill. Anyway, that should be a good time. First time I arrive live and the stream's over. I'm sorry, bro. You're right. You're a little late. You're a little late, unfortunately. Anyway, I will see you guys on Thursday. I hope you have a nice night. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining me on YouTube. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Do, 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 do.